Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, out of our studios here in Munich, Commodity TV for you. And it's time for an interview and a new introduction. We have David Suda here, the CEO of TerraX Minerals out of Vancouver. And he's the new CEO and joined the company in June last year. And of course, this successful gold explorer, we want to know what's going on and of course, why he joined the company. So, David, good morning. Glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, fantastic taking the time. And as I said already, what made you to join TerraX? Because exploration was not really in the big favor. I was not the big flavor of the investors the last years probably. But what made you now to join this company?
I spent a lot of time looking at companies like TerraX, some explorers, some producers, developers. My background was in the resource space in equity capital markets. So I had a good feel for the ability to analyze and finance these companies. And we've had a tough cycle. It hasn't been easy. So I've seen a lot of them falter. And when this opportunity came about, it was not a very hard decision. It's a fantastic piece of land. It's district scale, 783 square kilometers, right next to a town, surrounds two highly prolific past producers. And so for me, you know, in this jurisdiction with what's happened in the space, the companies haven't been exploring, they haven't been spending money, they need to replace their reserves. It all starts to make sense to me. And so for me, a career change and an opportunity to front run the cycle is really great.
Fantastic. Okay, then let's dive a bit more into the company. I think Joe Campbell so far really put a great piece of land together, as you said already. But also you had fantastic drill results. You did some like 56,000 meters of drilling already. The results are outstanding. But sometimes it looked a little bit like, they drilled here, they drilled there, they drilled there. I have the feeling now you have a systematic approach.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the things that you have to do when you're a small company and access to capital is tough as it's been. Even with a phenomenal management team, even with great technical expertise, a great land package, all those things, you need to have a plan and you need to be able to communicate that plan so it's clear. And for us, this has been an inflection point. You know, we just went through a very significant targeting process. It identified exactly where we want to be. We have 4 primary targets. That's where we're going to expand our deposit. They're within 5 kilometers of each other, you know, and we're going to drill those. And at the same time, we're not going to forget about the blue sky. So we have a plan. We have a plan for every single target on this giant district, but we want to be able to look people in the eye and say, we're going to add ounces in this area, which is our core focus area on these 4 targets. And that way, we're going to be able to come out with something big.
Fantastic. I think one also really significant advantage of the property is not only its size and let's say the geological setup, but you're also very close to Yellowknife, right? And that's a town with 20,000 people, so you have all the infrastructure.
Absolutely. For a northern project, so to speak, we are right next to town. And in fact, you know, so close to town that when you go to get a coffee and then drive to the drill bit, it's still too hot to drink that coffee. So I think, look, it's a very good point that you make. Our core shack is at the airport in Yellowknife. We have access to all of the services. Yellowknife is a mining-friendly town. It's been built on mining. It's been servicing the diamond mines, Diavik and Ekati. And that is actually a big deal for us because we have access to all of those infrastructural advantages. We've got power, we've got roads. So it's one of the key boxes that we can check.
Yeah, it helps a lot. And maybe then also if call it a future mine production, you must not build a big camp. People can live in the city actually, right?
That's right. That's a big advantage. It's good for the community. It's good for the economics of any future development. So absolutely.
Super. Corestack, one of the keywords, because I saw in your presentation that you have let's call it acquired, or you got 16,000 meters of historic drill core from the giant mine, yeah? So what happened there? I mean, we all know drill core does not change even when you store it 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. It doesn't, rock is rock, yeah? So, but how did you came on that? What have you paid for this? What does it equal mean for you and for, let's say, for the next 3, 6, 9 months for the company?
Yeah, our core shack got a little busier than most people thought it would. We were very fortunate. Because we have a great working relationship with the Geological Survey of the Northwest Territories.
It's a state agency, or what is that?
It's not a state agency per se. It's a group that the Northwest Territories supports. It's a group of geologists. Many of them are ex-miners from the region, and they're supporting mining, and obviously from the technical side. So there's a historical aspect. Anyway, with that group and with the giant remediation project, we were offered this unbelievable opportunity to go to a site which is being cleaned up and buildings torn down. I understand that they had the plan to bulldoze the core facility, and so we were asked to come in and help to look at, move, and preserve some of that core. Well, as it turns out, we were able to recover 16,000 meters of that core, which actually falls on properties that we've since acquired. And that's fantastic, because out of our 4 targets that we've identified for deposit expansion, 3 of them are exactly where this core comes from. So this is technically a huge thing for our geologists. They're able to advance our targets in a way that was totally unexpected. It's equivalent to roughly 1 full season of drilling. So for a fraction of the $4 million that it would normally cost to drill that much, we now have some access to tremendous looking core. And again, it's strategically for us, it's excellent, because it's on areas that we've identified that we want to explore. And so all of a sudden we have a jump start. That's the way I think of it. We have a very, very economically efficient jump start. We're going to surprise the market. We have surprised the market. People weren't prepared for us to be releasing assays, which we plan to do. We've already identified some of this core, and it's being relogged and resampled. And so we're looking very much forward to the results of that.
So there will be some steady news flow in the next, let's say, months, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Super. Perfect. And just to make that clear, you were able to really have like the GPS data of the drill core, so that you know exactly from where it is? Or like even the drill collars? Because I think this is one of the major advantages, right? Because when you know exactly where it is, and you drilled maybe 500 meters aside, so you can fill some gaps maybe already, and you get a better understanding of the geology, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. We some of the it's it ranges in age, the core, and there's also a range of quality of records that come with it. But everything that we've identified, we know where the collars are, we know the locations, and we're going to work to relog and resample and assay that material.
Fantastic. So, of course, one of the large questions we also get from our viewers, TerraX is an explorer, of course, and we know for explorers, a 43 101 is something you should have after a certain amount of time in drilling. So, is there any in the foreseeable future that you might say that you will have one?
It's absolutely our goal to come out with a resource, and I think this is something that explorers get asked often. It makes it easy to compare companies. For us, our primary objective is to do justice to this asset, to these targets, and to the shareholders that have supported the project for a long time. We have a very good sense of what we have on the property. We have block models. Joe and his team are experts in this. They're resource geologists. So we have a great deal of confidence in what we already have. But we also know that we have a lot of work to do, and a lot of exciting work to do. And these targets are all open at depth and along strike. And we've got some really exciting new undrilled opportunities on these targets. So until we've actually done the work on all of those targets, we're not in a huge rush. We know that we have something great, and so we're going to be very pragmatic with our use of capital, with the way that we drill, and then also with the way that we release results for the best shareholder value.
Super. That's always important, shareholder
Absolutely.
value. Great. If I look at the sector, and if I look at mid-tier producers, but even large producers, I get more and more the feeling they are running out of ore. They reduced during the financial crisis the exploration expenditures. A lot of companies got not financed. So I could imagine when I look at your piece of land and what you have achieved so far, that there might be some interest maybe. So because you need to finance the next big drill program also. I mean, it's not only like that you have the 16,000 meters of historical core, you have to add some fresh drilling also. This costs money, of course. So what is in the bank, and what are maybe some thoughts on how to do this, strategic partners, joint ventures, whatever?
We were very fortunate to be able to raise some hard dollars in the fall for our G&A and for marketing, and to put new eyes on the story, etc. And you're right, for the kind of campaign that we want to begin for drilling, we need to fund that. And fund flows have certainly been from for juniors, have been from the mid-tiers and majors. And obviously they're motivated. Those companies have been depleting their reserves, and there hasn't been a lot of money spent on exploration. So they're definitely looking to replace assets. They're looking to replace them in jurisdictions like ours. They're looking to do it in scale. We have scale, and they're looking to do it with high grade, because high grade is what moves the needle. It's what gets companies through various cycles in commodity prices. Fantastic. So we have all those things, and so we are the apple of several majors' I would assume, and we've got absolutely quite a bit of interest. So
you already got some phone calls.
We've got some phone calls, but it's the most important thing for people to know is that this is the type of asset, this is the type of jurisdiction, it's the type of infrastructure, and also the type of technical work that's been done over the past 5 years that is attractive to a major gold producer. So for our purposes, that's obviously where we're looking. It makes sense to be where the money flows have been, so that's where we're looking, but we also have other types of interest, more traditional sources of capital. So we feel confident, but we have to work hard.
Always. When you want to have the success, you have to work hard.
Absolutely.
That's great. No, that's good to hear. Maybe a last word on the capital structure. What is management share in the company? Because it's always important for investors that you have some skin in the game.
Our most recent published number is 11%. I think we're probably a little bit higher than that since the last capital raise. And we have almost 150 million shares out, and out of that, we have a very good handle on, where 50 to 60% of those shares live. So it's not a tight float, but it's a tight group. It's tightly held. So it's like I said, our shareholders have been fantastic. You can see that our share price held in on a relative basis quite well, and through tough times. So we'll continue to also, back to your earlier question, look for partners like the ones we have, long-term investors, supportive partners who want to see this project through.
Super, perfect. Well, David, thank you very much. Sounds like a real game plan you guys have, and you are establishing that and really progressing on that. And we look forward to your news then on the first historical core, and let's see how it goes with new partner, whatever, so that you guys really can drill a lot more, and then we want to see a 43-101, of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Exciting times.
Absolutely. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was David Suda, the CEO of TerraX Minerals, and you heard it. The company is really on a very good path. They had a big exploration success in the past, already 56,000 meters drill. They acquired or really got 16,000 meters of historical drill core. The first releases we expect within the next, let's call it 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully then, to see what is going on there. But also, of course, they need some funding in the future, but I can imagine that some of the producing companies already put an eye on that, because this is a 783 square kilometer large land package in a mining center in one of the mining hearts of Canada, I would call it, Northwest Territories. And with Yellowknife really aside the property, this is a major infrastructure advantage. You really cannot emphasize enough, because this for the future brings down a lot of the capex if you want to build a mine in the future there. So from that perspective, check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Munich.